Smart investors, I am here again at Lush City by Cedarwood here in the city of Aba, just 5 minutes off the Osisioma, popular Osisioma flyover. You can be this. Let me shock you now. This particular estate is just behind the Abia Polytechnic permanent site. If you are a wise investor, you will secure many plots here in Lush City because of the reason that when this school kicks off, students will look for a place to reside and lecturers will also look for apartments to stay. So this estate is also directly opposite Arab Construction Company at this Aba Owerri Express Road. You can be this. From here to Osisioma flyover is less than 5 minutes. So guys, what are you waiting for? This estate is close for just 4.5 million naira. This is a promo price, but I bet you'll be wowed because in a few weeks we are going to take this estate back to its main price, which is 6 million naira. Why not get a plot right now that is 4.5 million naira? As you can see, this is a wonderful, magnificent estate gatehouse. The property has been fenced right round already. It's 100% table dry land, and this buy and build. So as a wise investor, I will advise you rush and grab a plot right here at Lush City by Cedarwood immediately. Do you know why? Because the school is actually going to kick off very, very soon, and students are looking for places to reside. As a wise investor, secure a plot now that is still on promo. Just 4.5 million naira. A plot of 44 square meters is yours. The estate is already fenced, and this is a gatehouse, and it has been plot demarcated. We give instant allocation immediately after your payment. So guys, so what are you waiting for? Hit me now. Let's close this deal.
Because this weekend when we enter school, my mother, I get plans. So you know my plan. I go buy land, but I don't use to find better real estate company. What if they buy better land? Don't be to buy land. Don't go buy land. Don't go land inside problem. That's my problem.
Yes, so you have heard it from the original investor. You don't need to buy land that will land you into problem. That's why I'm introducing to you Cedarwood City Estate Phase 2. This estate is the solution to your investment problem. This is a land you buy that will give you peace of mind. You have heard it. If you are looking for a land you buy that will not put you into trouble, come to this land. Buy this estate. Invest in this estate because the land is not going to land you into problem, as our original investor said. This estate is selling for 5.5 million naira promo price. Just 5.5 will be a landowner here with a good land title, freehold. This land is just beside Lubos Manufacturing Company. Opposite the land is Federal Road Safety Office, just along Onitsha Express Road. The estate is very affordable. The land is in a good location. It's in a serene environment. Worry no more. That solution you have been looking for is here, which is Cedarwood City Estate Phase 2.
Subscribe to Cedarwood City Estate Phase 2, Owerri.
Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
Information, they say, is key. And by key, do well to join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, Nigeria's first real estate.
All right, good morning and welcome to Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. My name is David, and it's a beautiful Monday morning. Trust you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a wonderful night rest as well. Welcome to a new week. Welcome to a new opportunity. Welcome to a new day. Welcome, Lagos, Nigeria, and everyone outside Lagos and everyone outside Nigeria. Trust you are doing well. My name is David, and this is Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. We come your way every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday with amazing conversations. You cannot afford to miss any of our online radio programs. Today on Table Talk, we have quite a few things to talk about, quite a few stories making the rounds. But as usual on the Table Talk program, we begin the show with a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. Also, do not forget to like, to comment, and to share. As always, I would love to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching me live from. Let's know where you can hear us live from. You can do that via the comment section and also via our WhatsApp number. The numbers are right there on the screen. You can also be part of the conversation. Any stories that is of interest to you, feel free to contribute either via the WhatsApp platform or the comment section, either live on Facebook and on YouTube. Having said all that, we begin with the show proper with a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. The very first one we have here says Africa's wealthiest man, Aliko Dangote, says one of his friends who started investing abroad 4 years ago has been taunting him over the back and forth with the government in recent times. Dangote has been having issues with the government over his refinery project in Lagos. The very second here says President Joe Biden has endorsed Kamala Harris, his deputy, as the Democratic Party's candidate for the November 5, 2024 election. He made the announcement in a tweet shortly after declaring that he was quitting the presidential race. Number 3, quickly, Bello Toju, leader of a group of outlaws operating in northern Nigeria, has blamed Minister of Defense State Bello Matawalle for not handling banditry effectively when he was governor of Zamfara and other northwestern states. So the policies mapped out by Matawalle when he was governor. Number 4, quickly, the Nigerian Army NA has reiterated that the ban on the unauthorized use of military camouflage remains in full effect. The Director of Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Mwachoko, said this in a statement on Sunday while reacting to a video depicting a soldier molesting a civilian for wearing Army Desert camouflage uniform. And number 5, quickly, the federal government, through the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, is expecting fresh reports to confirm the real sulfur contents of the diesel produced by the Dangote refinery, as the company debunked claims of inferior fuel production. Number 6, the federal government says it will spend an average of 36 billion naira to convert 30,000 petrol of diesel-powered vehicles to start running on compressed natural gas in the next 90 days. The government stated it had acquired 30,000 CNG conversion kits for distribution free of charge nationwide within the period. Then number 7, a police inspector and 3 civilians were confirmed killed by armed men on Sunday morning in Aba, Abia State. The State Commissioner of Police, Kenechukwu Onwumele, in a statement signed by the Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Maureen Chioma Chinaka, confirmed the incidents. Number 8, a gruesome incident has occurred in Zara, Kaduna State, where some applicants vying for a spot in the Nigerian Army Depot allegedly hacked a fellow applicant to death. It was learned on Sunday that the victim, who hailed from Gombe State, had reportedly received nearly 1 million naira from his parents to facilitate his recruitment. Number 9, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has foiled attempts by a drug syndicate to smuggle cocaine and loud consignment, a synthetic strain of cannabis concealed in incense candles, game packs, dry hibiscus leaves, and ladies' native wears in and out of Nigeria through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA, by some courier firms in Lagos. And lastly, here, number 10, the Ebonyi State Independent Electoral Commission on Sunday declared the All Progressive Congress as the winner of the Saturday's local council polls in the state. Chairman of the commission, Mr. Jose Eze, who announced the results in Abakaliki, said the party won all the 13 chairmanship seats and 171 ward councillors. On that very note, we segue into other stories that we've selected to talk about this beautiful morning. We begin quickly with this very one from The Punch. And by the way, summary of what Nigerian newspapers I just gave to you was read from Daily Post newspaper. All right, quickly, let's take this very one. Inferior fuel, FG demands Dangote refinery diesel report, orders new test. I'm reading from The Punch newspaper. The federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, is expecting fresh reports to confirm the real sulfur content of the diesel produced by Dangote refinery, as the company debunked claims of inferior fuel production. The NMDPRA spokesman George Eneita, in an interview with The Punch on Sunday, said the agency had done its job and would not engage in a media fight with anybody over the claims made by NMDPRA Chief Executive Farouk Ahmed that Dangote's diesel has more sulfur content than imported one. According to Eneita, the authority has about 15 engineers and scientists embedded in the Dangote refinery, whose fresh report about the refinery sulfur content will be out on Monday, which is today. The Punch reported Ahmed as alleging that the diesel from the Dangote refinery contains high sulfur content, reacting to Dangote's allegation that the NMDPRA was giving license to some traders to import dirty fuel into Nigeria last week. Ahmed argued that it was the Dangote fuel that had a larger content of sulfur. He also said the refinery, which has been selling diesel and aviation fuel in Nigeria for months, had yet to be licensed, stating that it was still the pre-commissioning stage. All right, we'll keep an eye on that to see what unfolds from the investigation and the final outcome of this very, very huge allegation. Dangote refinery is something that many Nigerians are very proud of, though there has been some controversies. Quite a number of things has been going down social media concerning the Dangote refinery, from the buying of some, from the purchasing of some part of Dangote refinery by NNPC, and some huge amounts of monies that has, gone down. I also heard over the weekend that, some, millions of dollar or naira, some huge amount of money was also paid for land purchase to, a certain set of people. The Dangote refinery thing has been, very, very controversial from the very onset. And we look forward to a time where, the refinery will begin to run well, and other, the refinery will just begin to run, and, there will be less controversies and other refineries in the country. Nigeria is big enough. Nigeria is big enough to run its own refinery, to refine its own product, than rather than importing. We are big enough to. We have all it takes. The conversation of we have all it takes to be who we ought to be cannot be overemphasized. But then, it is the truth. We have all it takes, except for the fact that powers that be will not allow us to be. All right. Let's take the very next story. I heard this this very story this morning, and I had quite a number of things, in mind. It says confusion as female passenger dies in Lagos Keke Marwa. Now, so I'll just take a few paragraphs and then say a few things, and then we'll segue to the next story. Do not forget you can be part of this conversation this morning via the comment section and also via our WhatsApp number. All right. So there was panic on Friday after a yet-to-be-identified woman passed on in a tricycle while in transit at Isheri Dimu area of Lagos State. Punch Metro learned that the disease had boarded the tricycle along the Isheri Gondo Road and was heading to the Isheri end of the area. On getting to her bus stop, the tricycle rider was said to have notified her of arriving at her destination. The rider was shocked to discover thereafter that she was not responding, and later found out she was motionless. An eyewitness who preferred anonymity due to the sensitive nature of the incident told our correspondent that the rider drew the attention of passerby who rushed to the scene and realized that the passenger was no longer breathing. He said, "I was close to the Isheri bus stop when I heard the tricycle rider shouting for help. When we moved close to the spot, we saw a woman placing her head on the middle of the barricade of the tricycle, unresponsive. The rider said he was supposed to drop her at Isheri, which is at the last bus stop for tricycle riders along the area, and when they got there, the rider expected her to step out and pay her fare, only to find out that she wasn't responding. Only to find out that she wasn't responding. This was when he raised the alarm. The place was crowded as it appeared strange." Now, I'm glad that, there was not. I'm glad that the situation didn't end up in a way that the rider, how we can suspect people of, how suspicious people can be. I'm glad it didn't end that way, and probably he was beaten to make some sort of confessions and all that. But then we'll keep a close eye on that and see how it unfolds. Probably an autopsy should be conducted on the lifeless body. And then to ascertain, what exactly actually happened, and, see how that can be, to see what unfolds later. All right, quickly, let's take our very next story here. Zelensky thanks Biden for bold steps on Ukraine. All right, still on the punch this morning. Ukrainian President Zelensky has thanked his United States counterpart Joe Biden for taking bold steps on supporting his country. In a post via his X handle on Monday, Zelensky praised the U.S. president's tough but strong decision to end his re-election bid. The current situation in Ukraine and all of Europe is no less challenging, and we sincerely hope that the America's continued strong leadership will prevent Russian evil from succeeding or making its aggression pay off, he wrote. Biden's decision to pull out of the United States presidential race as Democratic nominee has sent shockwaves through the political world. In a statement on his X handle on Sunday, Biden said, "I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Shortly after the president declared his support for Vice President Kamala Harris to take on the bid, he added, "My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made." Now, it was said, was it on radio? You know, it would make a lot of sense if we have Kamala Harris as the first female president, as the first female American president. It's going to make a lot of sense, all right? And we'd love to see, first female American president. But aside that, it's a good thing that Joe Biden has decided to step down on the race of becoming the president again for the second term come November election this year, 2024. And also, someone said something, Rufai Oseni of Arise TV also made mention of something that, can it ever happen in Nigeria for a presidential candidate to step down? But well, during the 2023 election, we saw I'm not okay. Yeah, we actually saw quite a number of people. Okay, maybe they were aspirants. Okay, aspirants are not candidates, because there's a difference between being an aspiring candidate for presidential posts, and presidential candidates gone. So I don't know. Is it possible? I want to use this. Let me even ask everyone: is it possible to have a presidential and agreed presidential candidate in Nigeria to say, okay, probably the election is in 2-3 months, and as the presidential candidate for this party, I am stepping down for somebody else in the same party? Or is it possible? Is it something that's going to happen in Nigeria, or will ever happen in Nigeria? All right. All right, let's take this very next story, and this time around we're on the Vanguard. Hardship Nigerians in pain, frustrated, Anglican bishop tells Tinubu. All right, the bishop of the Anglican Diocese of Owo in Ondo State, Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, has lamented that the economic challenges in the country have led Nigerians in pain and frustration, just as he urged President Bola Tinubu to, as a matter of urgency, intensify efforts to address the security challenge and economic hardship facing Nigerians. He stated this in his charge delivered during the third session of the 14th Synod of the Church held at St. Stephen's Church, Ikpele in Owo, local government area of the state. The cleric noted that the effects of the current economic hardship are real and painful Fagbemi said, unless urgent and effective steps are taken to curtail the effect of the current economic situation in the country, Nigeria may witness an uncontrollable rise in crime. All right, Nigeria has become a harder place to live in, as evidence in the fact that many people are leaving the country for greener pastures, while many are finding themselves in difficult situations where they fled to. I think the other day someone said something that the president is not aware of current situation in the country or something like that. No, I think I just came across that kind of post. I just you know, that kind of post that you just look and just take your eyes off it. But well, we look forward to a better Nigeria. So clerics have come out. Okay, an Anglican bishop in the person of Reverend Stephen Fagbemi has come out, and we look forward. I think someone also said something on social media some days ago that why is it that some pastors are not talking again? Some pastors or some ministers or some men of God are not talking again concerning the situation. They are not saying anything anymore, like, you know, just unlike before, pastors, ministers, MOGs are not saying anything concerning the situation of the country anymore. You know, I just said something to myself. Well, in as much as, yes, that is not the primary, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, that is not the primary assignment of, you know, ministers or man of God or men of God or pastors. Their primary assignment is to serve God, all right, serve the people as well, and to meet their spiritual needs and also, you know, physical needs as well. And sometimes we get to a point where we begin to push responsibility of the government to pastors and churches. You see now, you know, we sometimes get to that point. But then, you know, ministers, men of God are also like prophets of the Bible, you know, prophets of the old days. They call political leaders to order, you know, they call, you know, yeah, you know how it used to be, in the Bible days, where prophets will call the kings in order to order, give them serious warning and caution. We should see more of that these days. And not be when we come, maybe one imam or one prophet will come talk and they will come arrest and caution them down. All right, let's move to the very, very next story we have here quickly. Feels Lagos issues 24-hour abatement notice to Mushin plantain traders. And the picture before me is irritating. Very, very irritating. Very, very, very. No. This is bad. No, this is bad. This is bad. You can't be selling what human beings are eating in this kind of environment. This is too dirty. Too dirty. Lagos is too dirty. No. All right. Let's quickly take a few paragraphs from this very story. From the Vanguard, it says that Lagos State government, through the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resource, has issued a 24-hour abatement notice to the executives of the Alamutu plantain markets in the Idioro area of Mushin due to poor sanitary conditions and indiscriminate waste proposals. I've not gone into the plantain market in Mushin. I usually see them along the roadside. No. It's not a good sight. It's not a good sight, especially the one at what's it called now? The one at the Solo. Is it at the Solo roundabout or so? That place too is not Okota, yes. Is it Okiafa? Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Okiafa, the one at that Okiafa roundabout, just before the bridge, before the Okiafa bridge. No, that place is something else. No. We should do better. We should do better. I think this same notice should also be given to every other market in Lagos State as well. All right. So the notice followed an inspection on Sunday led by Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment and Water Resources, Olakunle Rotimi Akodu. The inspection is part of the ongoing weekly environmental sanitation enlightenment and cleaning exercise. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu initiated the monthly environmental sanitation awareness and sanitization program on Lagos Island last weekend, with plans to replicate it across the state's 5 divisions. From time to time, not even I think, it is expedient and of utmost importance that from time to time we have, people go round. Like, that should just be their job. Yes, that should just be their job. Their job description is to go around. We should have agencies, law enforcement agencies, whose job description is to go around market to ensure that policies and, cleanliness and all that thing is, effectively carried out. Because, you see, what happens is when they come around, everybody cleans up everywhere, and then next 2-3 days, everywhere is back to default settings. So if we have periodic checks, if we have people that are on ground every day to ensure that the environments are clean, marketplaces, we won't have this eye service thing every now and then. This eye service thing will not be there. So we need more hands. We need more people to be employed, more enforcement agencies, more people that, whose job description is to ensure. We have Kai, we have all of them. They only come out once in a blue moon to look for who to catch, to look for, goods to seize, look for markets to destroy. And after they do all that, 2-3 days, 1 week later, highest 2 weeks, they are back to the street. Once in a month, they will appear with their green black van. You start seeing marketers running heta scatter. 2-3 days later, they are back. They are back there. But if you have a standby van at every given point, you have many of them doing nothing in their office, just coming to work, just sitting down, laughing, and just whiling away time. Your job description is in the marketplace. Several bus stops, several junctions. If there are less hands or they need more people, they should be employed. More people should be recruited, recruited and trained properly. Because many of these law enforcement agencies, they go out there and they just carry out their duty in such an irresponsible manner. So it is important we have people on standby, from Kai to Kai or whatever. From all of them, they should be out there 24/7. Make they even get shifts. You go work from morning to night, or morning to afternoon. Another person will come afternoon to morning, or one day off. So if I work all through today at a particular market, let's say for instance Aja market, ensuring going round, just like we have ushers in church and protocol security men going round on their uniform, sanitary, whatever it is, either apron, their uniform. People will be conscious of themselves. When the presence, people will be conscious of themselves. Let it be like that. At the end of the month, you pay them very well. Their job description should be monitor cleanliness in Lagos. Let's move on. All right. Okay, so this very one from the Vanguard says, Dangote refinery victim of Nigerian factor. Just 2 paragraphs, and then because we've talked about Dangote refinery initially, so let's not take too much time on. But because it's a different headline, I decided to also talk about it. All right, a lot of media people have been talking to Alhaji Aliko Dangote lately. Let's say probably on the Morning Delight show on Wednesday would have some of the interview video of Aliko Dangote, some of the interviews that he had. Would play some of the videos on Wednesday on the Morning Delight show. All right, so a lot of media people have been talking to Alhaji Aliko Dangote lately. More would give an arm to be able to reach him, all because of the refinery, which was advertised as the answer to our perpetual fuel problems. Laymen and women have developed the notion that when it starts supplying fuel, prices would crash to pre-subsidy removal levels, among other expectations. More unsolicited write-ups have been sent to me by strangers and friends alike about Dangote himself and his refinery, than I have ever received in a long time. Suddenly, the Dangote refinery, apart from pervasive hunger, appears to be the only subject worthy of attention. The opinion leaders are almost evenly divided, those sympathetic to Dangote and those totally against, even though the latter are often afraid to be identified. This is power, the ability to make people fear you even when you don't know them. It's a lengthy write-up that I would encourage every one of you to pick up the Vanguard newspaper, the hard copy or the soft copy, and read up on that because of our time. Now, a part of this very one says, who promised Dangote 65? Yeah, that should be 650 million BBP of crude. All right, and just pick up the Vanguard and read up on this very one. All right. One of my duty on Table Talk is to draw your attention to some of, to some trending stories and some things that the newspapers are talking about. Some deep stories that not necessarily some stories. Yeah. For some of the stories, everyone is talking about it, and for some others, not really everyone is also talking about it. So my duty here is to draw your attention to stories in the news papers every Monday morning. All right, let's move to Daily Post. This time around, Lagos denies imposing parking fees on worshippers' churches. All right, so it was, we can call it rumor, now that Lagos State has come out to debunk that very, very, very news that churches would be charged or something like that for parking fees. Churches who park outside the church or outside their property or outside their environment will be charged. Now, Lagos denies imposing parking fees on worshippers' churches. A few paragraphs are there from this very story. The Lagos State government has clarified that the state's parking policy will only affect motorists who intend to utilize the newly created 1,800 parking slots of the Lagos State Parking Authority. Ms. Adebisi Adelabu, General Manager LASPA, made the clarification in a statement on Sunday in Lagos. Adelabu said the authority was concerned about the recent social media posts regarding parking charges for churches and worshippers in Lagos State. The post incorrectly stated that LASPA on Saturday announced it will, from October, charge churches and worshippers in Lagos State who parked vehicles on designated streets around places of worship. To clarify the matter, LASPA wishes to emphasize that this information is inaccurate and does not reflect the true intent of our communication. The Lagos State government is not imposing parking fees on churches or worshippers for parking on streets around religious institutions. Rather, LASPA is implementing the Lagos State parking policy to mitigate parking-induced traffic congestion across the state, she said. She noted that Lagos is experiencing a high demand for parking space that exceeds available space, like many other major cities worldwide facing similar challenges. She said this shortage of space prompted the agency to adopt a regulated on-street parking model to manage parking resources effectively. Adelabu recalled that the Lagos State government had Babajide Sanwo-Olu earlier this year approved the introduction of a regulated on-street parking, which was announced during a stakeholders forum on February 14. She said that the religious organizations and other stakeholders were adequately represented at the forum, adding that the outcome was later communicated to the umbrella bodies representing these groups. She added that one of such correspondences was referenced in a news release making the rounds on social media. Still on Daily Post, quickly, anti-government protest. IGP disowns alleged leaked WhatsApp message. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has associated himself from a WhatsApp message currently circulating on social media platforms regarding the planned nationwide protest. Daily Post earlier cited a screenshot of an alleged WhatsApp message from the IGP discouraging protests in Lagos State. Part of the message reads, if you are going to join any protest next week, it's good, but ask yourself the questions, why is Lagos always their target? How about starting from your state? However, the IGP, in a statement issued on Sunday night by the Force Public Relations Officer, AECP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, said the purported message making the rounds on WhatsApp and other social media platforms did not originate from the police. According to the statement, the message, which poses several questions and opinions about protests, does not essentially represent the ideals or views of the Nigerian police force. We urge everyone to disregard the message and other similar contents purportedly from the NPF, as the force makes all communications via its official channels. Adejobi assured that the Nigerian police force is committed to maintaining peace and order throughout the country. We do not endorse any message that would incite division, violence, or destruction. Over the weekend, I saw something from the Senate, or I guess from the Senate or House of Assembly, which is the fact. We're also going to talk about that on the Morning Delight show, about the fact that I think they said it has to do with arrest people that are planning protests for negotiations. Those words those words not align. You don't arrest people to negotiate. The thing is, people will not protest if they don't have reasons to protest. If Nigerians want to protest, if Nigerians are planning protests, they have reasons they want to protest. Kenyans protested and still protesting because they had every reason for protesting. So if Nigerians are planning protests, it's because they have reasons they want to protest. If you don't want them to protest, then do that which will not make them protest. Make the country good. Make the economy good. Make life living. Make life easy for people. If everything is fine, who will wake up in the morning? If dollar is not over 1,000 naira or over 1,500 naira, if fuel is not over 500 naira, if living condition in Nigeria, if the cost of living, cost of getting food and all that is not that expensive, if life is not difficult generally, people will not have reasons to protest because everybody is living a good life. At least to a large extent, a larger percent of Nigerians are living a good life. There is security. There is adequate power supply. There are jobs on ground. People are able to afford food. People are able to at least enjoy average minimum wage, at least. People will not have reasons to protest because everybody is comfortable to a large extent. So let's not try to stop people from protesting. No. All right. If you're watching us live, this is Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, either live on Facebook or YouTube. Do want to send in your comments concerning any of the stories that we've talked about this morning. You can also continue the conversation even after the end of the session. We'll be in the comment section to engage you. Do not forget to like, to comment, and to share. This very one here on Daily Post still says U.S. election, Kamala Harris declares presidential bid for Biden after Biden drops out. Okay, so yes, obviously, I mean that should be the next thing. Yeah, so Kamala Harris declares presidential bid after Biden drops out, and Joe Biden is in full support. All right, the United States U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has declared her intentions to run for the presidency Harris made her intentions known after she was endorsed by President Joe Biden. This comes as Biden bowed to pressure and stepped down from presidential race following age and health concerns. Does it ever happen? Will it ever happen in Nigeria? I asked that question earlier. Out of what? Pressure. Nigerian politicians, no matter the pressure, I don't know the kind of shock absorber that they have. Nigerian politicians have enough shock absorber. They have, they have enough padded. They have enough pad in them. So nothing they shock them. You see now. So there's enough pad to, receive every shock. Are we ever going to see any political, anybody holding any political position, out of pressure and health concern, step down any political position or any aspiring position? We'll take our very last story from Daily Post. Be patient. Tinubu's policy need more time to materialize. Oshomole tells Nigeria. With all due respect, sir, Nigerians have been patient for a very long time. Nigerians have exercised enough patience. Nigerians have exercised enough patience. Nigerians have endured a lot. Those that are unable to endure has either committed suicide, left the country, given up, compromised, and those that are still that are still holding on are tired already. You cannot tell Nigerians to be patient. That Tinubu's policy needs more time. We don't have that time. We don't have that ability anymore. It is said that Nigerians are on surviving mode. We are not. Is this survival mode now? Be coping mode. We are just coping. We are surviving. We are no more coping. We are no more surviving. We don't have the strength anymore. Nigerians need immediate intervention. Immediate intervention. If you need to step down for that immediate intervention to materialize, do so. If you need to implement any form of policy, Nigerians are no longer patient enough. And that is why we have rumors of planned protests, woven here and there. Senator Adams Oshomole has told Nigerians, according to Daily Post, to be patient with the administration of President Bola Tinubu. Oshomole stated why fielding questions on channels, televisions and Sunday politics. This comes after the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, said inflation figures reached 34.19% in June 2024. Daily Post reported that the high cost of living was triggered by the floating of the naira and the removal of fuel subsidy by the current administration. However, Oshomole, a former governor and now representing Edo North in the Senate, expressed optimism that Tinubu's policy would yield results in due course, calling for patience. You have to agree that some of the policies initiatives will require more than a year to materialize, which would be the president gain by resorting to policy choices that are unlikely to deliver comfort in the long run. So I think for me, it's about having faith that in the long run, these things will work out, he said. Well, okay. This is the point where we call it a day. It's 10:53 already, and it has been a wonderful time. It has been a wonderful time bringing to you stories, different stories making the rounds, different stories that the newspapers, different stories that Nigerian newspapers are talking about. And I hope I've been able to, draw your attention and also make you become aware of some of the things happening around us. We'll be back again at 1 p.m. And this time around, we'll be bringing to you different stories or the latest, rather, I would say, the latest happenings in the real estate industry. Do well to join us again at 1 p.m. for the real estate market trend.
This is Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anthony. Please, kindly tell us how you feel being allocated today.
I'm very excited because I see great future here. And the place, the environment, the plants, and the plots, and the allocation as well is really amazing. So I advise everyone that wants to at least have a good environment for themselves, for the future, to try P1.
Mrs. Ann, can you kindly tell us your experience with P1 Plus?
Wow, this is really amazing because my client was like, wow, she needed a plot here in Asaba. Within some few days, she got this property. She's getting her allocation today. I'm really, really very excited. Like within 1 week of buying a property, she's already having her own plot. So it's really amazing. If you've not gotten yours, please better do. There's nothing like real estate investment. Thank you. Plus, they are the brand in making home ownership dream a reality. The owners of Cedarwood brand. So smart investor, prospect out there, if you want to purchase a piece of the earth here in the city of Asaba, you have to get it with P1 Plus, because with P1 Plus, your home ownership dream is a reality. Thank you.